Alright, tonight I have a new tutorial for you. This one builds upon the elements of the last tutorial that I did for simple logo design using only Photoshop. This takes it to the next level by actually drawing an image, scanning that image into the computer, opening it with Adobe Illustrator, and converting it into a vector drawn image. So basically what you see here is the finished product. This is a logo for a local cafe. The client needed rebranding done, so this is what we ended up with. There's a couple of different versions I've got happening here. This was the initial designs for it, done all in Illustrator. So there's a fair few layers here, as you can see. I'll explain what it all is as we progress through. So, firstly, I'll show you the final product. So, Lamar is the name of it. Lamar Cafe and Bar. So there's a black and white version for you. What we've done is taken an image, as I said, that I scanned into the computer that was hand-drawn illustration of this abstract coffee cup with the L and the M there, the line underneath. And we basically went through and got the pen, traced over everything that I drew using special brush effects that come with Illustrator, and ended up with this. So the first thing you need to do is get your image that you draw of your logo and scan it into the computer, import it to Adobe Illustrator. For the life of me, I cannot find where that image has gone on my computer, and I don't want to scan it back in again, so let's just pretend this is my original sketch. The way that I got to this point is by using the pen tool. So firstly, what we want to do, grab your pen tool. You'll have your very first layer as the scanned image. So imagine this layer here is a scanned image. You want to create a new layer and begin tracing. So I simply clicked on the very first point of the line and then click again at the top. Ignore brush stroke effects at the moment. I'll go and show you how we can amend all that later on. And straight away I've made a mistake. So we want to draw in one solid line. So top to bottom and then across to the end of the L. You'll see the way that Illustrator draws is by default having an outline filled in with a default fill. So in this case it's a black outline and the default fill is white. If you want to change that at any point, just grab the selection tool, select what we just drew, and you see a path palette come up at the top. This is what we've just created. It's called a path. Now this solid white refers to the inside color. We don't want anything there because we're just aiming for the letter L. So drop it down and select none. This refers to the stroke color. So I'm going to leave it as black to trace over the top of this and show you what it looks like. Boost up the size of the stroke so we can actually see it, and so it doesn't conflict with the background, I might change it to green so it stands out there. Right, the next step is to grab the pen tool again. I'm going to do the same thing and draw over the M. So simply click in where we need it to go, all the way to the end of this drawing. Again, grab the selection tool. One moment, guys. So, as I was saying, we need to fill out the rest of the M there by creating another path. Alright, letter M. I draw it underneath so I get it right this time for you. Okay. For that path, we are going to want to bump up the size to about 7 pixels again, change it to green so we can see it easily. Remember, my color palette has gone. Okay. Just playing up, so this has been a little bit crashing around. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Green. Excellent. Take away that fill for the line. So that's the basic outline. You have your couple of lines basically drawn out. Now the way that we got it to turn into this nice looking brush effect that looks like it was painted on is by selecting a different sort of brush. So by default you have a few different ones in there from Illustrator. I can't remember the exact one I used, so I'll just grab one that looks like it will probably work well. And we'll draw there. There you go, I've got the exact same one. So it's called Dry Ink 1, and it gives you that nice brush stroke effect that goes onto it. So that's what we were looking for. Do the same for your L, and you get it looking just as good. So I'll select this path, drop it down, and looking for Dry Ink 1. There you go. I went further and created more paths around this L because it just looked too plain, as you can see with this green brush. It does look slightly plain just like that. So I went and added in some more, which you're more than welcome to do. Just go and grab the pen tool again and add an extra path around it and put the other brush stroke on. But for this purpose, we'll just leave it as this. So we've traced on the L and the M, and we need to go through and carry that on to the rest of the project. So I'll get rid of those, see what we're working with again. Now the coffee cup was under the same principle. This drawing was done with the pen tool again. I drew the coffee cup abstractly to start with on paper, scanned it in, and drew this around. So, pen tool. To make curves in a line is easy once you get the hang of it. There's a bit of getting used to it. It took me a while as well, so don't fret if you don't get it straight away. We're going to change the brush style as well, down to one of these watercolor strokes. We'll go with stroke 1. So again, as if I'm tracing over the initial image, I want to press at the first point of the coffee cup, press at the second point, and when you press at the second point, hold, and you can press and hold, and you can curve that around. So any way you like, auto control over it. So give it a slight curve there. What we want it to do is sort of dip in at the end so we can go and connect it up and around. The next point you want to do is probably down here somewhere. Click and hold again, just following the curve of your drawing, and release, and then upwards so you can get the nice flick around happening. The next step was to click on the side, make a new layer first, click on your pen tool, and we're going to start making the side of the cup. So click down to the next curve point and drag it. It'll make it slightly curved for you. Across to the next point and drag it the other way, and then back up again, just so you see the outline of the cup. We don't want to fill in the whole thing. I found that this looks pretty good because the human eye wants to go through and join up the missing areas. So it grabs your attention and looks pretty neat for a simple technique. So draw that up. Again, just follow each of your lines around, making new layers as you need to for the new lines so they don't all join up. And once you've copied it around, you can go up and do your top layers for the it's not letting me select my new layer. Okay, you go and select your, God, why is it doing that? I'll lock it off. Okay, select your new point for the steam bits, another new layer, drag it across and then back up again. So you get the steam happening on top of the cup. The very last line that we used was just a simple point to point. and with one of the brush stroke effects on there again. So you can see that that just goes straight underneath. And it's as simple as that. You just take this Illustrator file, open it with Photoshop, add in your text, and you end up with something looking like this. So my Lamar logo. Very simple to do once you get the idea down. Took a good 4 or 5 hours in development just to get it to this point. There were many previous versions, so have a play around with Illustrator, see what you can get to, but that's just one technique for taking an illustration, bringing it into the computer and turning it into a vectorized image for use for clients. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, just ask. Comments below. Subscribe, please. Support is always welcome. And I'll get some more tutorials up for you soon. Thanks for watching. Head over to the website as usual, www.pulsemultimedia.com.au. Send me an email for what you'd like to see in future tutorials. This has been Drew. Thanks for watching.